The Weekly, hosted by the editors of Pro Builder and Pro Remodeler, starts now.
Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of The Weekly. This is your spot every Thursday to check out the latest trends and innovations we're seeing in the marketplace. So we're into the holidays. I don't know about you, but we started the day after Thanksgiving, which is super early. But when you're in your house 24 hours a day, you might as well spruce it up. And the one thing I found out when having a home office is some of the decorations that aren't quite ready for mainstream home get pushed into my office. I'll give you an example. These are my favorites. They're trolls, the Christmas trolls. I don't know, they came from Scandinavia somewhere. I love them, but I promise you, they never get outside of my office. I'm sure we all have toys like that. So we're 21 days away till New Year's Eve. I swear, I think it's going to be the biggest celebration ever. We know we're going in the right direction, but my goodness, just to turn the calendar is going to feel really, really good. So let's get started with today's show. Our sponsor today is Panasonic Healthy Indoor Living Solutions. And I don't know if there's a product that's more on target for what's going on in the market right now. We've been talking about clean, healthy homes because it's just overtaking everything the consumer is thinking about. And Panasonic has a full line of solutions for you around both ventilation and indoor air quality. And it allows you to remove the unhealthy air and get your homes up to code. They have great products that really reduce callbacks, which is great for your reputation. And just as important, they put you on the map as a smart, healthy home builder. And our research shows air filtration, #1 concern. So nice to have Panasonic on board. So let's get into our first segment. In our first segment today, we talked to Christy Allen. And Christy Allen has done something that's never been done before. They have something that's called the house that she built. And this was a collaboration between Professional Women in Building and AHB. These are great partners of ours. We do women in residential construction, and they came up with the concept. Not only was it kind of managed by a woman firm, all the skilled labor were women too. So what was the purpose? You know, frankly, there's a great story behind it, and it's all about opportunity.
And somebody said, oh, you should build a home with all women, and a guy who just kind of threw it out there, not totally serious, not completely as a joke, but just kind of like, oh, you could do that. And we're like, yeah, let's do that. Why not? So that's kind of the seed for it, I guess. And then we really had to sit down and think about well, why are we building a home with all women? What's the purpose, right? Not just to prove that we can, or because we think women build better, which is not the case at all. We love working with all the men in the industry that we partner with. So we didn't want it to be about that, about oh, women build better than men do. We really wanted it to be about telling stories. So telling the stories of women in this industry and showing them as examples, as beacons to girls and women who might not be familiar with the opportunities that we have in the construction industry. So we wanted to show that and say, look at all these women doing these amazing jobs. There's a place for you here if you're interested.
In our second segment today, we talked to Abby Binder out of Milwaukee. She's a remodeler. And business has been so good, as it's been for a lot of us. But there's an old problem creeping up: skilled labor. So Abby's talking about this year being the year of pivot for their company. And how do you handle that shortage? She does the math on, should I bring people in-house, or should I continue to use subs? Or do I use kind of a cool point system where they get rewarded for doing great things? What is the right answer?
So one thing that we've learned from this year with again, this has been our honestly company theme for the year has been the word pivot, because we've been pivoting so much and we've had so much growth. We've had over 40% growth on the year that as, all the money that would have been spent on hospitality and travel and everything has really been filtered into our home improvement industry. But I think it almost like it was busting us at the seams, so to speak, because we weren't all prepared for that type of growth as much as we love it. So it's been a lot of pivoting. So one thing that we realized is that because everybody's had so much growth, they have to have the labor to be able to install all these things. And that's why it's let's just get this job done. Whatever the guy wants to get paid, just pay him so we can keep moving and get these jobs rolling, because you don't want that backlog. The inventory shortage is long enough. You don't need it sitting in your warehouse and creating more of a backlog, and then you have more, upset customers. So with the Amazon world of, put it in a package and it's there in 2 days, has created a quite a difficult thing for us to do as remodelers to try to emulate that and try to clone that. So we don't have that ability, but we have actually, thought and really are going through the route of, okay, how much is workman's comp going to cost? How much is this going to cost? And doing the math on, is it worth bringing in-house crews for everything instead of using subs, because you have more control over, are they going to show up today? And, are they going to stay here?
So that ends our show for this week. As always, we greatly appreciate you joining us. We have one more show next Thursday. We're going to take a couple weeks off. Then we're going to jump into 2021 with you guys and keep bringing you all this cool, innovative content. If you'd like to see any of our past episodes, you can check them out on Horizon TV or on YouTube. They're all there. And if you have any suggestions for 2021 shows, I would love for you to send them to me. So here's my email address. Please feel free. I'd love to hear from you. Big shout out to Panasonic as our sponsor. They really have incredible products at a time when what they're delivering is exactly what the consumer wants. So please be careful this week. Wear your mask. The goal is let's get to the vaccine as healthy as possible. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next Thursday. See ya.